Please join me. I expect to be blessed. And I expect to be blessed. And I expect to be blessed. Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. And yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. 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 Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. And yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. 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 Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. Yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. I expect to be blessed. I expect to be blessed. One more time. I expect to be blessed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. My name is Reverend David Clark. I am a senior minister here, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our service today. We've got a great service lined up for you today. Billy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We got some beautiful Christmas music coming up.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I just thought I'd play some piano today for everybody. You know, give my voice a break.
I love that.
Cool. I heard some of it earlier. You're in for a treat.
Awesome.
It's wonderful. So thank you, Billy. Billy Larkin, our musical director. And we also have a very special guest today. We have Maria Segoviano, and I think I pronounced the name correctly. And she is the Director of Development and Communication at the Yolo Food Bank, and she's going to give us some information about who the food bank is, what they do, and why we are supporting them this month in our as our tithing partners. So we are giving a percentage of our tithes to the Yolo Food Bank and to support the good work that they do, and I can't wait to find out more about it from Maria. So welcome, Maria. Also, a little bit of news. We had a cabaret, a very big, huge, successful, wonderful cabaret a couple of weeks ago, and I have put those videos out on YouTube. So they are on our YouTube channel, and they're ready for you to peruse. It's not as good as being here, but it's almost as good. And you can see all the acts and all the performances that we had. So check out our YouTube channel. And if you want to be notified when we upload stuff to YouTube, then subscribe to the channel, and then you'll get a little notification. And speaking of YouTube, I want to welcome our YouTube audience streaming from around the world. Welcome, 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 and we're glad you're here. Last little news announcement that I have is that next week is Christmas Eve. We will be here. We will be having a service. We're going to have a special candle lighting ceremony, and it's going to be very, very moving in an observance of Christmas as we celebrate it in this faith of religious science. So, we got a lot of stuff planned in the future, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later. So, welcome, 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 everyone. So you might be wondering what you got into here. If you've come through the doors for the first time. So I just wanted to describe who we are and what we are and what we believe. So, as I'm getting my notes here, have you ever had one of those mornings? I have. Yeah, so please bear with me. So the Science of Mind is a spiritual movement that emphasizes the power of your mind and how that joins in with the reality that you live. We know that we're connected to God, and that connection is through our thoughts and beliefs. And God, we know, responds to our thoughts and beliefs as we believe them, and makes manifestations in our lives based on those beliefs. So we pay a lot of attention to what we believe in this philosophy. So we believe 4 things. We believe a lot of things, but there are 4 main things that we believe. Number 1, we believe that love is all there is. Everything is a call for love, an influence of love, a response to love. Love is intertwined in everything that we do and in all that we call good. Love is also present. Number 2, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things. And we pay a lot of attention to what we think and what we believe in this philosophy, because we know what we're thinking and what we're believing we will see in our world manifest. So we believe one of those things that we love to see manifest is our next belief, which is that you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. You are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. We believe that because we believe we come from a whole, perfect, and complete source that can only make whole, perfect, and complete things. You are one of those things. I am one of those things. So as we believe this about each other, we also believe this about ourselves. We are whole, perfect, and complete, and in partnership with the Creator of all things. Number 4, we believe in a world that works for everyone, and we're working from that world together. It's a world that's ruled by cause and effect, by love and law, and it has always been thus. So what this philosophy does is study how we can make those facts work for us to bring about our good, to bring about our peace, to bring about our abundance. So we are doing all of this in a world that works for everyone. And hopefully we can make this world work for everyone to bring about more good into all of our lives. So now it is my favorite time of the morning, the time where we get to acknowledge each other, where we get to say namaste and look in each other's eyes and see that whole, perfect, and complete person standing right across from you. So let's do that with our namaste greeting. So now please welcome our practitioner of the day, Dr. Deborah Taylor. She's going to share with us today's our vision, our mission, and today's affirmation. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So how are you guys feeling?
Great.
All right, good. Okay, so it is my pleasure and my honor to share with you and all of us and remind us of our vision, mission, and I'll give you the week's affirmation. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to invite you to just allow the words to kind of permeate your very being, and then I'm going to invite you to state it in your own voice. So, our vision here at CSL Yolo is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. Let's say that together. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. And so I'm just going to invite you to allow that feeling, that connected place to rise up and just occupy you. As I read our mission statement, our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. So let's say that together. Our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Inherent greatness. It's already within you. Already within me too. And so we just simply allow the magnificence to radiate out in that connectedness that we all are. So our affirmation for this week. So I'm just going to invite us to, just take a breath, allow your breath to deepen itself in its own perfect rhyme and rhythm. For that is the rhyme and rhythm of the universe. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me in my enrichment of the world. So let's say that together. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me in my enrichment of the world. So it is. So I'd like to invite our board president, Peggy Gravendahl, to share some happenings with us. Hi. Peggy.
All right, I'm going to keep it short this week. I only have two. First up, in January, we're going to have our foundation class. And this is the essential class in the study of science of mind. We'll be introduced to the basics of science of mind, meditation, spiritual mind treatment, visioning, and other universal spirit principles and practices. Each week will consist of the exploration of spiritual principles and spiritual practices that support those principles. You will learn to use the creative process as well as the powerful practical tools to change your thinking and change your life. And you'll experience this adventure with like-minded people from our community. In addition to reading and writing the essentials exercises each week, there are guided meditations and exercises to assist you in applying and embracing and incorporating science of mind principles in your life. The classes begin on Tuesday, January 9th, well, that's really close already, and runs 10 consecutive weeks every Tuesday. The class will end on Tuesday, March 12th, and they are from 6 to 9 p.m. And all of this will be done virtually over Zoom, and the tuition is $295, and if there's, you can do them in installments, and you can talk to Reverend David about how to handle that. And next is the Season for Peace and Nonviolence. It's coming to CSL Yolo. The Season for Peace and Nonviolence runs from January 30th to April 4th. It's created by the Association of Global New Thought. It's a 60-day period between the assassinations of Mahatma Gandhi and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we will focus on peace and nonviolence within ourselves, our communities, and the world. If you're interested in co-creating an experience here at CSL Yolo, please contact Dr. Deborah Taylor via her email at dtdvm@yahoo.com. And currently, they're having the visioning classes on Monday at 6:30 on Zoom. However, next Monday and the following Monday are Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, I think, or Christmas Day, New Year's Day. And so they're obviously not meeting on that day. Okay, and so, again, if you're interested, connect with Dr. Taylor. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, this one.
The volunteer.
Am I introducing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's just announcing the food bank tour and partnership. Yes.
Okay. Come on. Didn't know about that one.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. We have a guest here with us today, Maria from Yolo Food Bank, who will be coming up to speak right after this. But at the end of January 29th, we have a great opportunity to take a tour of their woodland facility. And after that, we will participate in a packing event. It's a great way to give back to our local community. And with that, I'll introduce you, Maria, and you have a couple slides here to go over with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to grab this just because I'm a little more done. I just need to move. Good morning, and thank you all for welcoming me to your space. This is the first time I've driven by, but the first time I'm in this building. It's beautiful, and just very honored to be here and hear about your mission and your vision. I live in West Sacramento, so I'm part of Yolo, but winters, every time I come, it just such a peaceful drive, beautiful scenery, and so always in a good mood when I come to winters. I'm going to just start off by saying, I'm Maria Segoviano, Director of Development and Communications at Yolo Food Bank. I've been there since April of 2021, and so kind of right up around the peak of the pandemic, and it's been a wild ride, I'll say, just how the need has gone up since the pandemic. I know many of you, maybe if you're in tune with the news, food banks were just on the news all the time during the food bank, and so I was really inspired to come work for the food bank during that time because I wanted to just be more and more involved in a hands-on way. And so just to give you a little bit of background on to sort of the state of food insecurity and what we're doing to respond. So Yolo County has about 75,000 households here, and our poverty rate, according to the Public Policy Institute of California, we're in the #1, the most impoverished region out of 58 counties. You can believe that or not, here in Yolo County. And that's calculated through a California poverty measure, so it takes into account other factors, but if you are interested in looking more, you can just go to the PPIC website. And so that really struck, is just striking to hear, because in a region, we hear farm to fork a lot around here, and we have wonderful restaurants and, great food, and yet there is the most poverty here in all of California, right? And so how is that possible? So we directly provide support, food distributions to 13,000 households across 145 events a month. And so we do both direct support and through our partner agencies, which We are the only food bank here in the county, and you might be familiar with other food banks that cover other counties. That's sort of how the food banks work. There's Sacramento Food Bank. They cover all of Sacramento County. Placer Food Bank covers Placer, and so you'll get to see if you take the tour just how we operate. But they say if you've been to one food bank, you've been to one food bank, because it's sort of a different model at every county. And so we have, the model of both providing direct service, but also working with partners, because there's wonderful, amazing nonprofit partners here in the region also that do great work. I saw Meals on Wheels flyer. They're one of our partners. Our Davis Community Meals, Shores of Hope, Fourth and Hope. We have Steak. There's wonderful partners that we have. But we provide both direct service through our distribution programs. We have our big public distributions, which some of you may have seen. One of them takes place at the Winners High School here. We have Woodland Fairgrounds, or the Winners High School Woodland Fairgrounds. We have West Sacramento Capitol. So we have big ones where we see about 400 people every week. And then we have those 82 partners. They provide food for 9,000 households. And so together, combined through our partners and through our direct service, we serve about 22,000 households, and that's a month. And here's if you can see a map of Yolo and sort of where the poverty dense regions are, and you see like Woodland is definitely there. Davis, for the student population, there's student food insecurity is also a big issue. I know that UC Davis has been very just hands-on about that issue there on campus as well. And then West Sacramento is a pocket too. You have a lot of refugee communities, you have a lot of Latino communities, and so it's sort of an overview of how, what the makeup of the county, of poverty in the county looks like. And then we have sort of the big question we get, where does your food come from? And we have all these different sources. We are, as I mentioned, the only food bank in Yolo County, and so we actually started in 1870 as a backyard gleaning program run by volunteers, and then it turned into a food closet, but it wasn't until 1988 when we hired our first employees, and then soon into the 90s we became a Feeding America, what we call a Feeding America affiliate, and so that means we are part of a larger nationwide food security organization, Feeding America, which then has partners across the nation, and that provides an advantage for us because we get to work with grocers or large big box retailers like Target or Amazon to receive donated food, and so that's where the bulk of our food comes from, the 55%. Feeding America distribution centers and manufacturers. Then you have also through our Feeding America partnership, 11% comes from the U.S. federal government, and that's through, federal and state. We have programs such as the emergency, that was called TFAP, Emergency Food Assistance Program, and then we have 16% on the bottom here that comes from our local grocery stores, such as Nugget Markets, Trader Joe's, somewhere there's more that aren't nationwide, but that are more local. And then farms, we also have 4% that comes from farms because we have a great region of farmers and very generous farmers around here. We purchase about 13% of our food because we are in an effort right now to have more nutritious food, more culturally appropriate food, and that, because we rely on donations, that sometimes always isn't the case, and so we do need to purchase in order to meet those standards. And then 1% comes from faith-based organizations too that they provide. There's a big effort and there's a long-standing commitment to the food bank from a lot of our faith-based organizations. And so in total, we distribute more than 10 million pounds of food a year, every year, and that value of food equates to about $15.8 million. That's a lot of product that we move. This is a little bit about our program. So I mentioned our public food distributions. We're at over 20 sites in the county, and we do mainly weekly, monthly distributions of produce, dairy, meat, and other non-perishable items. And through that program, the public food distribution program, we serve over 9,450 households a month. And that's the kind of distribution anyone can come, no questions asked really. The only thing we ask is people to provide how many number of people there are in your household and your first name, and that's it. Because we are really wanting it to be an inviting space, and we believe that whether you need food for one day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, whatever that time is, you can come and shame aside, we are there to serve, to take care of each other. And then we have our private food distributions. Those we do, that was sort of a program that was born during the pandemic. So we do bulk drop-offs and home deliveries to folks in the community that maybe are low-income seniors or are immunocompromised, are just unable to drive to a public distributions. And so there's a program where they can sign up and we can take food directly to them. And that we're at over 20 sites, and we do over 240 home deliveries, and that program serves 1,400 households a month. And then we have our Student Farmers Market program, which is a beloved program here, where we go to, we're in just about all the schools in Woodland, and we are in 20 plus, over 20 schools in the county, but I think we're in every elementary school in Woodland, and we're growing to expand into actually high schools now too. But this program provides a farmers market style distribution for children and for high schoolers. And so we go out and we kind of model a farmer's market, and it's also with the intention of reducing that stigma and normalizing access to food, and also just another way to reach families through the students. It's a powerful way to educate folks, and it's a good way to do nutrition education. So we sometimes provide, a produce item from a local farmer that may be new, and we do taste tests for the kids, and so it's a really unique kind of way to do both the nutrition education, but also just, again, normalizing that access. Excuse me, and that program serves about 1,500 households a month. And then our partner agency program, which I mentioned, so when you do a tour, we have a partner agency store where all of our partners can access food from our partner agency at only 50 cents a pound. And so we provide access to all of our partners. They have other missions. So their mission might not be food, security, but it might be adjacent to food insecurity. It might be another service in relation to that. And so we want to make sure that they're focusing on the mission and they can get food from us. And so we have that partner agency store. And these are our list of partners, which you can't quite see, it's a tiny list, but we work with the Pantry at UC Davis, we work with Calvary Chapel of Woodland, of Zamora, of Esparto, we have Communicare is a huge partner of ours, and then all throughout the county, that makes up 82 partners that we work with every month. And lastly, service. Service means a lot to us. That's the origin story for the food bank, right? That's how we became to be a food bank, because of volunteers that came together and said, hey, there's a need out there, there's an issue, let's come together and fulfill that need. And so we couldn't do the work we do without our 1,800 volunteers that we have here at the food bank. And we have so many opportunities for people to get involved. You could do the distributions if you want to be hands-on in the community at the big large-scale distributions, the farmers market programs if you're more into kids. We also have harvests, which are really fun. A lot of people like those to go out in the orchards or the fields and farms and harvest produce that our local farmers set aside for the food bank. And then we have our in-house packing shifts. So if you want to kind of do a group, for example, volunteer opportunity with your family or your friends, you could do a packing session and get our distributions ready for through that mechanism. And anyway, we will plug you in, and we'd be more than happy to have you. And I know you'll be there on the 29th, and so it'll be wonderful to have you visit our food bank facility. And that's that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Maria. I'm glad you mentioned missions, because how does this align with our mission at the center? Well, you cannot live your inherent greatness. In order to live your inherent greatness, in order to live by spiritual principles, you must eat. That is the first and foremost thing. You must be able to eat. You must be out of survival mode and into where you can think and dream and do more with your life than just eat. So we are headed into our contemplative portion of our service right now, and I hand it over to Billy Larkin. I think we're going to be singing Holy Light of Love.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm going to read the sacred reading today. That's by Thomas More, Care of the Soul. Ruins, like the old farm equipment in pastures, show us that something remains of beauty in a thing when its function has departed. Soul is then revealed, as though it has been hidden for years under well-oiled functioning. Soul is not about function. It is about beauty and form and memory. Things suffer, as a person would, when they are reduced to their functions. Care of the world's soul, therefore, requires that we see things less for what they can do and more for what they are. I'm very sorry. This just kind of hit home, babe. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. So prayer is an active process. And as we involve ourselves in what we call affirmative prayer, I'm going to invite us into some active involvement in prayer today. So I'm going to invite you to allow your breath to deepen itself in its own perfect rhyme and rhythm. For that is the rhyme and rhythm of the universe. Just allow it to deepen, and as you exhale, just release everything that has come before this perfect moment now. And so as we so trust this invisible stuff that we call oxygen as the very essential element for our thrival and survival, I invite us to use this as a metaphor for the invisible side of life that we may call God or Spirit. We may call it Yahweh, Jehovah. We may call it Allah, Wakantanka. We may call it Mother Earth, Father Sky, or Gaia. We may call it Yemaya, Shango, Big Mama. But by whatever name, it is that infinite presence that is everywhere, all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful. And because I know that there is only one of us here, and it is that presence, that divine presence. It is the very nature of each one of us, and it is the very nature of all creation. We are all made of the same stuff, and it is God. And so I am just knowing that I am a divine emanation, a divine expression of that presence, that love, that peace, that joy, that harmony, that beauty, that life. And so I'm going to invite you to allow something to rise up within you. A desire, a prayer. It may be something that you feel is not right. But on the reverse side of not right is perfect. And so I'm going to invite you now to allow perhaps a memory, perhaps a vision of that desire fulfilled. Maybe something has happened in your past that just, you just felt so good. I invite you to let that feeling rise up within your body right now, within your mind, within your heart, within your soul right now. Just allow that feeling tone to just rise up. And in this feeling tone, we're allowing an opening of light to shine on whatever that other thing was. Just illuminate it a little bit. And we can see it in a different light. We can feel it in a different way. And so I am standing in agreement with the yesness that is spirit. For spirit always says yes. Yes to whatever we're holding in our beliefs, whatever we're holding in our heart. It says yes, and it gives you more. And so we're flipping it and we're looking at the other side, that silver lining side. Because spirit says yes to love, yes to abundance, yes to harmonious relationship, yes to peace, yes to beauty, yes, yes, yes. So I stand in gratitude. Gratitude for everything. And I stand in gratitude despite everything. Gratitude for life. Gratitude for this ever-expanding awareness of good, of God, by whatever name. And so I release my word, for in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word, the belief, the Word made manifest. The Word is yes. And so I simply release my word into the alchemy of law and love. And I stand in the feeling tone of all is well, even now. Even now. Right now. All is well. And so I invite all to anchor this yes with me, with words of agreement from our African tradition, Ashe. And words of agreement from our Native American tradition, Aho. And words of agreement from the Abrahamic tradition, the Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition. Amen. And with words of agreement from our own science of mind. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Deborah. I'd like to play traditional Christmas song. This is the First Noel, which is really a song about the birth of Christ consciousness.
Larkin, everyone. Music director. Thank you, Billy. That was beautiful. Do want to let you all know that hearts are heavy at the Clark household this week. My father-in-law made his transition this morning. And so that's part of what we're dealing with this morning. And I really, well, you know, it's rough. It's rough when a parent leaves. And so please, I ask that you hold us in your hearts today as we navigate these waters. So we're talking about wholeness this month. Wholeness. Wholeness. We're talking about our own wholeness. We're talking about each other's wholeness. And we're talking today about seeing each other's wholeness. And it's very interesting. I want to warn you about seeing other people's wholeness. There are some things that might happen as a result of seeing someone else's wholeness. There's a few things that now you may have a positive attitude on life and other people. When you see other people truly as whole, perfect, and complete, it can change the way you see them. If you see someone as broken, that's one way of seeing someone. But seeing someone as whole and complete changes everything. It changes their potential. It changes what you hope for them, what you dream for them, what you believe that they can do. Everything changes. Another thing you might notice is a decrease in hatred. If you see everyone as whole, perfect, and complete, and as a child of God, then it decreases your likelihood of hating them and increases the likelihood of spreading love. You may experience increased compassion because this is where we meet as people, as individuals, is we meet at our wholeness. That is the one thing that is identical within each of us. That's what makes us all a universal family, is that we have this relation to each other, this original wholeness. So I'm not just looking at some other person. I'm looking at a family member. I'm looking at someone that has the exact same inheritance that I do, the same spiritual inheritance that I do. So my compassion is going to be greater for them because I'm recognizing that they're part of my family. So you might be saying that, you may be thinking in all these talks about wholeness, is that I can't just turn it on. I can't just turn on my wholeness. I can't just turn on thinking about someone else as whole. And I submit that you can. And I'm going to prove that to you right now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see a show of hands. Have you ever taught anybody how to do anything? Ooh, we got a sanctuary full of teachers in here. Let me ask you a question about that. Teaching starts with belief. When you set out to teach someone something, you're doing that based on the belief that they can learn it. Yes? You're not just setting out to teach them and just wasting your time and you're expecting that person to be able to learn whatever it is you're teaching. Whoever it is. If you're teaching about a musical instrument, I have a friend that's a piano teacher who is an excellent piano teacher. And his philosophy always starts with his belief in his students. His belief in his students' ability to understand what he's saying, their ability to rise above even where they think they might be. His ability to see beyond the condition, whatever that is. It might be fear. Maybe the person is afraid to learn what you have to teach. Maybe they've embarked on a musical journey and you're trying to teach them an instrument that you know. You're looking at them knowing that they can do it. When you're teaching them, you know that they can do it. That's the fuel behind your teaching. So we are really invoking that wholeness. We're acknowledging that original wholeness and that original capability that we have when we are teaching someone something. Yeah? You getting that? There are spiritual principles at play here always. And even though we might not have known that we were enacting them or evoking them, I think, there, sticky paper. Even though we might not know that we are putting these things into play, we actually are every time we are teaching someone something. So there's 5 principles that I just want to go over with you real quick that you are actually doing that are spiritual principles when we teach. So that you know when you are seeing someone as whole. You don't always know that you're seeing that, but you are. So the first thing is affirmative prayer. When we're teaching, when we're instructing, when we're trying to impart something to someone, we do so knowing. Well, let me first tell you what affirmative prayer is in case you're new to this philosophy. This is how we pray. This is where the rubber meets the road for this philosophy, is affirmative prayer. And when we pray, we're not asking God for anything. We're never asking God for anything. We're acknowledging what God has given us. We're acknowledging our divine birthright of creativity, of love, of light, of beauty, of joy. These things are your birthright. And of power. So when we pray, we are acknowledging that we're one with God. And we're acknowledging that there's one God and everything that God is. And we're acknowledging that we're connected to that and everything that that means in our lives. So the teacher, which we've all acknowledged that we are or have been at one point in our lives, the teacher is saying a silent affirmative prayer. They are knowing the existence of something inside that the person themselves may not even know. You as the teacher have that divine knowledge and that belief in the ability of the person that you're teaching. Number 2, recognizing the divine essence. You're recognizing their divinity every time. Every time you look at someone, you are recognizing the whole perfect and complete person that they are. And so someone has come to you, please teach me how to swim. I am not a good swimmer. And it's always been a kind of a shame that I've always had. It's like, I'm not a good swimmer. But black people don't swim, so it's okay, Dave. That's how I make myself feel better. And then I see a black Olympic swimmer, and I think, oh, damn. I have no more excuses. But I'm not a great swimmer. I can swim to save my life. But if I go to someone and say, hey, teach me how to swim, I'm afraid. I don't know what they're going to have me do. Okay? I don't have a whole lot of belief in myself that I'm going to be one of those people that just dives in the water and swims and has a good old time. That's not me. I'm not that person. But the person that I ask to teach me how to swim has to see me as more than I am. It has to see me as more than I believe I am. You see? They have to have that faith in me in order to teach me. And their belief in me affects my belief in me. That's the magical thing about it. I'll go in there and it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, hey, don't worry about it. Everybody's afraid. Come on into the water. Let's start learning. And approaching me with an attitude of can do. And that affects my choices. It affects how I learn. And it helps me to learn. So you see right off the bat, the power of our belief is not only improving the life of the teacher, but it's improving the life of the person that you believe in. Practicing non-judgment. We also don't judge. The teacher doesn't judge where the student is coming from. They just teach. They just know and they teach. And the person that's the student is like, yeah, but I don't know. I've never been able to, I can't. It's like, I'm not judging any of that. I know that you can. Let's sit down and let's do this. So, it's not about judging someone as worthy, because we're all worthy. Number 4, we practice the law of attraction. And this is very interesting because as we teach and as our student learns, they are attracting to themselves what they ultimately want. When you get into a situation and I go to somebody and say, hey, teach me how to swim. I want to know how to swim, even though I'm deathly afraid. Even though I kind of don't want to, I know deep down I do. And that deep down belief that I can, and that deep down belief from my instructor that I can, enlivens the universe. The universe rises up to answer that. You find courage and strength that you never knew you had. The teacher finds new ways to communicate in ways they never really realized that they could before. And you both grow. It's a beautiful thing. And speaking of beauty, this is the last one, practicing love and compassion. That is what our teachers do. They practice love and compassion. I don't care if you're learning how to swim, if you're learning how to play tiddlywinks. I don't care what it is you're learning how to do. The person that sacrifices their time and says, hey, come here, let me teach you how to do this. That's a loving act. Even if you're paying for the person to teach you, they are still invoking all of these spiritual principles in order to begin this instruction. So it is a loving, compassionate thing to do to teach, and it's a loving, compassionate thing to do to learn. So let you take this with you with your home play today. Become one side of this equation or the other to experience wholeness. Go out and learn something new. Get that experience with that loving teacher. Let them know a bigger truth about you. Join into that truth and know it with them and rise together. Learn how to play piano. Learn how to swim. Learn that new language. Help somebody learn. Teach. Know that within every single person in their lives, this enormous potential to do anything in the world. We look at children and we say, oh God, they have so much potential. But we never look at an adult and say, oh my goodness, you have such potential. We never look at an elderly person and say, oh, you have so much potential. But that's what we can do with every single person that we meet. No matter who they are, no matter what they are, no matter what their condition is, you have so much potential. There's so much that you can do. You are so whole. You are so perfect. You are so complete. Anything you set your mind to do, you can do. And we can believe this about anyone at any time without limitation. So for your homework, believe in each other. Believe in each other's wholeness. Practice knowing that we're all, each and every one of us, unlimited. So let's take that into prayer. And let's go inside right now. Inside to that place of peace. That place of knowing, that place of unmistakable wholeness within. That place where we knowingly reside with God. The all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful creator of all things is listening to you, is resting with you, is loving, nurturing, uplifting you. And why? Why does this one great force, this one great spirit, the one who is in charge of everything, why does that care about you, little old you? Because you are its blessed creation. All the power of the universe is poured into you, enabling you, informing you, enriching you at all times. So yes, Spirit is listening. Spirit is listening to its creation and responding with yes. Am I whole, perfect, and complete? If I believe that I am, Spirit says, yes, you are. And proceeds to give us proof. Everywhere we look, everywhere we turn, everywhere we go, we are proven again and again that we're right. We are whole, perfect, and complete. We are loved beyond measure. And all good that we seek is within our grasp. The peace of this world is within our grasp. The safety of our loved ones is within our grasp. Our ability to feed everyone is within our grasp. And so as we know this about ourselves, as we know that we are eternally connected to the source of all things, let us know that the whole world is connected. Let us know that God resides in the heart of every soul. That the potential of peace and love and oneness, the truth of peace and love and oneness is alive in every single person on this planet. It's alive in every single being across the universe. I'm grateful to know this. I'm grateful to see this enormous potential in every eye that I see. And so let us all be grateful for this. Let us agree that this is the truth of life. And let us be thankful to our Creator. And so it is with this gratitude, it is with the gratitude of the eternal yes that God gives us, that I release these words. I release these words into the mind of the universe. I don't have to check on them. I know that as soon as I do, they are made manifest right in front of my eyes. And the wholeness that I believe in, the wholeness that I've just declared, will be wholeness that I see in my life. It will be the wholeness that I see in the eyes of everyone that I meet. God says, yes, you're right. They are whole. They are perfect. They are complete. They are mine. And so let us all release these words happily and without a care in the world, knowing that they're done by a loving God and acted upon by a loving universe. Let us all release these words with the words, and so it is.
So it is.
Oh my goodness. Billy, that was incredible. Nice little jam. I've never heard that song jammed to before. But man, you jammed it.
We said the angels be dancing.
Yes, they are. We are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing, and we call it conscious, committed, and structured giving. And there's many ways to give and expand our abundance consciousness. We give of our time through volunteering, our service. We give of our talents through participation, and we give of our treasure through financial donations. Your gifts help us in our mission to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired, to embody spiritual principles, and to live their inherent greatness. And as we have heard already, our tithing partner is the Yolo Food Bank, and please keep them in mind. And once again, thank you, Maria, for that presentation. Lovely. So know that as you give, we are also helping to support the Yolo Food Bank. And there are many ways to give to CSL Yolo. You can text to give to 530-322-8441. You can PayPal. You can send us a good old-fashioned check or money order to CSL Yolo, P.O. Box 1361, Davis, California, 95617. You can also just throw some money in the plate. We can do that too. Or you can go out to our website at cslyolo.org and click on the Donate Now button. So, now that we know how to give and we know why we give, let us enter into that sacred consciousness of divine abundance. I ask you to place your hand over your heart, symbolizing that vibrational energy of circulation, and say with me our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I celebrate my prosperity and my ability to share from my overflow of good. I give from the knowledge that all is well.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Just in time. We bless and release these gifts to do their work of proclaiming the good news that all is well. As we have freely given according to the law of circulation, it returns to us full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we will always have more to enjoy and to spare, to give and to share. For this we give thanks, we let it be so, and so it is. And we have a message for our children today, the children that are headed this way, the children that are inside of us, and the child that is here today with us. Hallelujah. We say we love you.
We love you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
And we're so glad you're here.
And we're so glad you're here.
All right. So we believe in the power of connection here at the Center for Spiritual Living. YOLO, that means that we believe in the what does that mean? What does that mean, Reverend David? Well, I'll tell you what that means. That means that we believe that we are connected to Spirit and we're connected to each other, and that connection has power. So we exercise that power in prayer. We pray and know that our connection is there and that we can do anything that we have set in front of us. And if you need to have the power of prayer, then we've got prayer practitioners here with us today. Me and Deborah, we're both here today, and we would love to pray for you and to see God working its way through your issues and to know your inherent greatness. That is what we do through prayer. And so if you need that today, then please let us know. Also, we're having fellowship after the service. After the closing song and benediction, there's goodies down there. There's coffee, tea, and I don't know what we're going to eat down there, but I know we're going to eat something. So, and I know that it will be good. So please join us after the service. And that's about it. So let's circle up and have our closing song.
Emerge. And what is the lesson? The lesson is that love rules and that you are whole, perfect, and complete, and that God loves you. And so it is.